that insight. Please stay with us as we come back to you for our next discussion as well. Now we move on. Jimmy Kimmel has revealed he obtained Italian citizenship after Donald Trump's re-election, calling the president's second term so much worse than expected. Speaking on the Sarah Silverman podcast, Kimmel said he qualified through his grandmother's Italian roots, joking she once told him, "You have the brain of a hamster." The late-night host joins a wave of celebrities moving abroad, including Rosie O'Donnell and Ellen DeGeneres, who relocated due to concerns over U.S. politics and LGBTQ+ rights. Kimmel added that people changing their minds about President Donald Trump should be welcomed, not ashamed. Now we go back to our guest discussion with Irina Zuckerman. She's a senior journalist, joins us live from New York. Thank you, Irina, for staying with us. Now, celebrities have previously stated that they would leave if President Trump becomes the president again. So, is this a celebrity trend? What do you think Jimmy Kimmel's decision to obtain Italian citizenship reveals about the current political climate with celebrities in the U.S.?
Actually, very few left, surprisingly. In fact, those who did were an exception rather than a rule. And many people who got European citizenships for a reason that had nothing to do with Donald Trump long before he came to office, that has become a trend to avoid extensive airport background checks, taxation issues, and other issues related to convenience from in travel or when residing part of the time abroad. Jimmy Kimmel is one of the people who has enough money and influence to not be really touched by politics, no matter who is in power. To be honest, some of this is rather performative, even as Donald Trump and Kimmel are feuding online. Of course, Trump is known for being temperamental, vindictive, and highly personal in his encounters. He has gone after politicians who have turned on him, who he felt betrayed him, or who otherwise don't fit his worldview. How far he is willing to take it with other types of celebrities, with entertainers, comedians, and others remains to be seen, but so far his bark has been louder than his bite. He has not actually done anything to the celebrities that he doesn't like. Taylor Swift has long, for instance, has long been the subject of his ire online, but the most he has done is rant about her to his supporters, many of whom were not necessarily fans of her to begin with.
Yeah, and do you believe this trend of celebrities moving abroad is a form of protest, or are they simply exercising their right to seek a better life? Do you think this is just a show of privilege?
Honestly, the fact that they can afford it and they can uproot their lives and move somewhere, whereas most people, even those directly affected by Trump's policies cannot do that quite as easily, is actually definitely a show of privilege. And in a way that's quite ironic, because these are the people always talking about privilege or white privilege or whatever, but in reality the real privilege is money and the fact that they can bypass complex migration procedures and obtain foreign citizenships with relative ease, without going through extensive long processes. I mean, for an average person trying to get an EU citizenship, they have to prove having roots to a particular country, for instance, and that could be, complicated or knowledge of a foreign language, or at the very least, wait for a long time. The fact that Kimmel was able to do it so easily just tells you that celebrity gives him, the very status of his celebrity gives him an advantage.
And building on your answer, how might this attitude by these celebrities who can afford moving if they don't want to stay affect public discourse and political polarization moving forward?
I mean, I don't think it really has much traction. First of all, a lot of these people are more popular with older audiences who are going to vote regardless of what the audiences say. They are not really quote unquote influencers in the same way young people who gather audiences specifically on the basis of their views and who they are rather than on their entertainment value. So I really actually don't think it really matters very much. And if anything, I think most people, even those who oppose Trump, tend to roll their eyes when celebrities threaten to leave or leave simply because they know that these types of people can come and go anytime they wish, and you know they have the level of prestige and reach that most people cannot, and what they do does not reflect on the general population. That's different. TikTok influencers and others of that sort who specifically have reached with young people, with audiences on the basis of their personal branding, and their name recognition is not based in anything they've accomplished or their role in the arts so much as who they are and what they stand for and what they say in public. There they may have a longer term impact, and they may have influence even the way the culture involves on a social level.
Thank you very much, Irina Zuckerman, for joining us and sharing your insight throughout Hollywood Calling. Now we move on. In the latest update on Wednesday, Season 2, fans were